Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The first major health announcement of the state election campaign has been revealed, with the Liberal Party committed to slashing the elective surgery wait list. But years into Tasmania's hospital crisis, opponents are asking where the money is coming from and why it hasn't been delivered sooner.
In front of one of Tasmania's embattled hospitals, the Liberals announcing a health cash splash, day 10 on the campaign trail. If re-elected, the party will fast-track a new private facility next door to the Launceston General Hospital.
I understand that the capacity in the private sector in Launceston at the moment is fairly poor. It'll be able to support the public hospital, and it'll also act as an attraction for other medical staff.
No doubt that we're caring for more people than we've ever done before. I suppose the challenge is access to health care.
As hospitals struggle to keep up with rising demand, also promising to lessen the state's elective surgery waiting list, now at 12,000 people.
We know that many Tasmanians are waiting for surgery, and this is an important investment.
But the question remains, why has it taken this long to band-aid Tasmania's chronic health crisis?
If it was that simple, it begs the question, why didn't they do it earlier? But we know that this is not a magic pill to fix the elective surgery waiting list.
Any additional funding has to be able to increase capacity, and it actually has to be built into the long-term budget.
I mean, the Liberal government had 7 years to fix up the elective surgery mess and to fix the outpatient appointment mess. And today they announced that they're going to have 22,000 surgeries, and now wait for it, done by 10 additional doctors.
Others asking exactly where that money will come from.
Now we have an election, and guess what? Front page, 154 million, plucked out of the air. Where's the money come from now? Did he win Tats Lotto?
Well, we have continued to announce additional funding for elective surgery. Indeed, in last year's budget, which was only delivered at the end of last year, we put significant funding into elective surgery.
The Greens also out in the north, showing off its full lineup of candidates for the first time.
Out in the electorates, door knocking, letterboxing and talking to Tasmanians about their hopes for the future. As the name suggests, our support candidates are largely there to support the lead candidates.
The ticket including well-known wilderness advocate Vicar Bailey and Kingborough councillor Gidgen Cordova. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A powerful union is taking matters into its own hands as Labor continues to suffer the consequences of snubbing a popular mayor as a candidate. The party was out today selling its energy plan, promising to install solar panels into Tasmanian schools.
Putting on a united front, Labor spruiking its solar solution.
An elected majority Labor government would create a $5 million solar schools fund to put solar panels on schools.
Former student Toby Thorpe was instrumental in having solar panels installed at Huonville High School. 4 years later, it's a policy he's campaigning on.
There's been an estimated $30,000 to $40,000 saving. That's a huge chunk of money that could be directed into other services.
But the party has been unable to shake off the controversy caused by the snubbing of Dean Winter. Tensions boiling over with the Australian Workers' Union writing to the National Executive, asking it to intervene.
Basically, it was to let Labor know that they've made a dreadful mistake, and so bad that the right faction isn't going to put up with it.
The powerful union accusing the State Administrative Committee of breaching the rules, saying not pre-selecting the Kingborough mayor has caused public controversy and disaffection in Tasmania, and he was materially and unfairly disadvantaged by the process.
There's obviously a lot of speculation about what did and what didn't happen. At the end of the day, all of this needs to stop. We need to be able to resolve this matter.
Admitting the issue has dragged on too long.
We will have all of our candidates resolved, and they'll be announced publicly by the deadline, which is obviously Wednesday.
They're going to have a hard time recovering from this. Clearly, the simplest thing to do would be to add Dean Winter as a 6th candidate.
If Miss White can't even decide who she wants on her team, how could she possibly provide the leadership to govern this state?
The party secretary was contacted for comment. Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
CCTV cameras have captured a crash in Launceston's city centre, which saw one vehicle shunted into a supermarket building. Cars travelling on Wellington and York Streets collided at the intersection, with one vehicle careering into the Woolworths Launceston store. Today, work began on the shop front, repairing the broken glass and visibly damaged structure. The Easter long weekend has come with a warning over Port Arthur's drinking water. The Port Arthur Historic Site issuing a boil water alert over concerns the town's water quality doesn't meet national guidelines. Management is now working with Taswater to make it safe to drink again. Those connected to Port Arthur's water supply are being asked to boil their water before drinking, washing and preparing food and baby formula, brushing teeth or making ice. Thousands of dollars in prizes were up for grabs in a 3-on-3 competition run by Tasmania's fledgling new NBL franchise. The half-court contest drew families as well as players from local leagues as part of efforts by the Jack Jumpers to draw in fans from across the state. The head coach of the side says he's hoping new players will start putting pen to paper by the middle of the year.
There's not a lot of rush for people to be signed right now. We have some feelers out and kind of trying to test the waters of where we're at. But I don't think things will get ramped up until June or July.
Tickets to Jack Jumpers games were also on offer to the winners of the family 3-on-3 contest. From glistening gems to ancient fossils, some of the world's rarest finds have been unearthed at Hobart's Gemboree. With many international fossickers left stranded in the state by COVID, prospectors used the event to show off Tasmania's hidden beauty.
Orange, spiky and found right here in our own backyard. This is crocite. It may be mined in Tasmania, but the natural beauty is sought after right across the globe.
Tasmania has the best and the biggest crocite in the world, so we are the source of it for the planet. Unfortunately, it's not greatly admired here in its home state. You can ask 9 out of 10 Tasmanians what crocite is and they'll say, I have no idea.
It's one of thousands of specimens on display at Hobart's Gemboree, a chance for fossickers from near and far to reconnect and show off their finds.
I've been cutting for 45 years. People don't understand that sapphires come in all different colours, for a start, and our zircons are like diamonds.
They go from state to state every year, so it started in 1965, and every 5 to 6 years it comes to Tassie.
But for some prospectors like Melissa and Christo, they're much closer to home than usual. COVID forcing the worldwide travellers to stay put, a big change from their usually busy schedule.
We live in Asia for 3 or 4 months every year, in Burma and Sri Lanka and North Vietnam and India and Indonesia, and we hunt out the Earth's treasures, the beautiful things in this world.
The show attracting thousands of gem enthusiasts, and while the experts spent their weekend showing off their treasures, others took the opportunity to dig a little deeper.
We run a few field trips across the state to some of the fossicking areas, so they get to go out and do a bit of fossicking too, but they were just all excited to be back together again.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
The opening round of the TSL is done and the votes are in for the Cripps TSL Player of the Year. Jake Hines is off the mark for Launceston, booting 2 for the Blues in the 55-point defeat of North Launceston. A blistering opening half from Kingborough's Zach Adams put him in line for 3 votes against the Demons. And Lauderdale's Nat Franklin was best of field in his side's narrow win over Clarence. Many eyes were on Tasmanian Stuart McSwain in stall. Starting off scratch, he put in a sensational run to pick off most of the field in the 2-mile.
Another hefty handicap was saddled on McSwain in the 2-mile feature. Just like in Burnie on New Year's Eve, McSwain was the Lone Ranger, contending with friendly rivals packed together.
My role at the back, I'm just going to have to go full tilt the whole way. There's no messing around when you've got to catch all the guys.
The multi-Australian record holder started reeling in the field on Stawell's famous track.
Well, McSwain's starting to move up on them. There's McSwain going past McNeil, so he's starting to make his presence felt.
The handicap would prove too much though, McSwain finishing 4th in the field of 13. His training partner Tom Thorpe claiming the win. Lacko Seljack Cup action continued today with Taroona thumping South East United 4-0. South East was still in it at half-time, conceding a solitary goal, but the floodgates opened late in the game with Taroona putting the contest out of reach, courtesy of 2 icing-on-the-cake goals in the final 10 minutes of play. And Tasmania is all over Western Australia in its final Shield clash of the summer. Bo Webster brought a fighting 85-run opening partnership to an end through Tim Payne's gloves and followed up in similar fashion with the wicket of Shaun Marsh. From there, none of the Warriors batsmen managed to make a dent. Youngster Jared Freeman trapping Mitch Marsh LBW, giving plenty of reason to celebrate. WA all out for 219.
And Tasmania has begun its second innings in that clash at the Wacker. Debutant Tim Ward was caught and bowled on 24. Jordan Silk just missed out on a half-century, bowled on 46. The Tigers lead the home side by 477 runs, partway through day 3.
Good evening, everyone. Some light showers fell about the west today while it was sunny elsewhere. Launceston saw the state's top reaching 23 degrees, 22 in Hobart and Burnie and 19 in Devonport. Across the state, 22 in Wynyard, Grove and Bushy Park, 21. Flinders Island and Low Head, both 19. 17 in Strawn and Lyowini, 16 degrees. Cumulus cloud can be seen about the west, far south and northeast of the state today. Across Australia, extensive cloud is visible over Queensland due to an active trough and several lows near the coastal region. Fog and low cloud lies over eastern Victoria, while a band of cumulus cloud can be seen over parts of Tasmania. Tomorrow's chart shows high pressure centres to the east of Tasmania, extending a ridge over the mainland. Troughs persist over Western Australia and the Queensland coast. Westerly winds tomorrow 10 to 15 knots about the south, reaching 20 knots during the morning. Partly cloudy and 21 in Hobart tomorrow, 19 in Adventure Bay, Tarraleah 19 with cloud clearing. 23 in Launceston, Devonport 20 and partly cloudy, Bridport reaching 19. Partly cloudy and 20 in Burnie and Marrawar tomorrow, Strawn a top of 19. And 21 in St Helens and Whitemark, both partly cloudy, and 20 in Swansea. Looking on to Wednesday now, fine with light winds and temperatures in the low 20s. Showers developing about the west on Thursday, extending statewide during the afternoon. And on Friday, showers about the west and far south, and also about the northeast early in the morning. 27 in Perth and Adelaide tomorrow, partly cloudy, and 21 in Melbourne. Canberra 24, 27 in Sydney and 32 in Cairns and Alice Springs. And it's currently clear across the state with Hobart and Launceston both 17 degrees and 15 in Devonport. And Kim, that's Monday's weather.
And that's all your news for now. There'll be updates throughout the evening. Thanks for your company tonight. Good night.